Amazing. I love that intro, Jamie. It's my favorite. Those are my favorite stats, by the way. The three-time three-peat for getting started with Experior. So I love this. And what an event. Everything's doing just such an amazing job. So today I get to share something that's deeply personal to me on a topic that's defined my life in so many ways, which is recovering from failure. I think for most of us, we can relate to the failure part. We've all had our fair share of either personal or business. It's the recovery that we sometimes struggle with. Depending on our past experiences, our upbringing, our family dynamic, maybe a lot of what you feel and the failure is inevitable. Oh, beautiful, Frank. Beautiful, Frankie. Thank you, buddy. Was it a little too close there? A little too Italian? Never used a computer before. All right. Maybe a lot of you feel the failure is inevitable, and that's all that's been, you've been dealing with your whole life. Depending on your upbringing, guys, sometimes you feel that that's all you deserve. So I'm here to tell you that in order to recover from failure, it's just developing the self-belief that you're worth more than the struggle you're going through. So in this little time I have with you, I'm going to share some of my biggest failures and what it's taught me about how to recover faster, and hopefully it'll help you get through whatever it is you're going through. I'm going to take you on a little journey of some of the biggest failures I've endured, some of the stuff that I've learned and shared throughout that in order to get through it. Some of the stuff I've never shared anywhere publicly before, but we're all family here, so I figured now's the time. All right, first slide here. So, guys, tragedy and failure have been a part of my life from a little kid. 4 years spent in a hospital for kidney disease at 10 years old. This caused such a huge financial burden on my parents, causing them to have to sell their home. I thought I failed them. Because of that, I made a decision that would change the entire course of my life. I packed up a few things and went to go live on the streets. I didn't want to be a burden to anyone anymore. This was the lowest point in my life. I failed everyone that has ever believed in me. I let my friends, my family down, but most of all, I let myself down. Because I missed so many days of school, the teachers told my mom that they wanted me to start going down the path of a special education curriculum and be part of a special class for kids that struggled with reading, writing, presenting, and math. I was reading at a 5th grade level in grade 10. What am I going to do, guys? And I made a decision. Like anybody else logically would, I dropped out of high school. I told everyone I was going to be successful. I didn't need school. Introduced the restaurant industry. This restaurant industry, guys, saved my life. It got me off the streets. It gave me a purpose. It was something I was really good at. So good that I started my own catering company at 20 years old. I was making money at a beautiful condo, at a brand new Cadillac. I was following my dreams. But guys, 2 years later, I found myself going bankrupt. I lost everything. I went from a Cadillac to a train, partying way too much, feeling sorry for myself, figuring out I didn't deserve more. Introduced the financial services world. Love it. We had a combined income of about $46 in this picture, but we were excited, man. I told everyone I was going to make it. I was going to be the next big thing. 4 years later with this company, I took home a total of $5,000. And that was after telling everyone I was going to be a millionaire in 5 years. So it's safe to say I fell a little bit short. Talk about failure. I'm sure some of you can relate to that part. But hey, guys, with every failure, there's a new beginning. I got started with a new company. I was finally having some serious success. I upgraded the car. I had a big team, beautiful home. I met somebody that I thought would be my future wife, only to have my fiance leave me 4 months before the wedding, after everything was paid for, of course. Then to have that company I gave my life to lie to me, take me from the top to the bottom, toss me aside, forcing me to lose everything I built. After that, I nearly walked away from an industry I love. To the mentors, and I say that lightly, I followed for 12 years of my life and sacrificed everything for, only to have them throw me under the bus and tell everyone I would never have any success without them, that they made me. Hello, Xperia here for the third time, as Jamie so eloquently mentioned. That's me and my small team visiting Guelph on the very first day. Guys, people were quitting so fast of me on the beginning that I actually had to propose to Leanna just to get somebody to stay. Obviously, I'm kidding, but you heard the Mauro story earlier, and wow, man, unbelievable. What an unbelievable human being to possess the ability he has to connect with people, the most genuine individual I've ever worked for. And I don't think I would be even half the leader I am today if it wasn't for his guidance. And Mauro, I'm so grateful for you. And that's me getting a little recognition at our 2020 convention, which was one of the best events I've ever been to. But guys, with everything, there's peaks and valleys. I'd love to say that the struggle stopped when that happened and the clouds parted and life was perfect when I came here. That's not really how life works. I found myself in another long-term relationship that was ending, caused me to lose the car and condo I loved, caused so much personal stress that I actually started to affect my health in a really negative way. And then watching my dad, who's my hero, have a stroke in the middle of all of this, have it completely shake my world. 2020, I had one of the worst performances in my career, which forced me to really find some solutions to this. I was so tired of failing and not moving forward. Welcome 2021 and 2022. It led me to have the best 2 years of my life. I have the most amazing woman by my side. I got my 100K ring, my 200K. What an unbelievable experience it's been so far, guys. And I'm going to share with you some stuff that made me push through. See, I can end this talk right here, and most of you can relate to that level of struggle, that level of failure, maybe in just a different capacity. What I want you to understand is that your failures don't define you. How you bounce back from your failures does. I wish I can give you a simple answer, but the truth is, it was anything but easy. Each new failure we endure brings a different level of struggle, and it requires you to do something more. It's going to test your will, your drive. It's definitely going to test your mindset. So if those three things are not intact, I hate to say it, but you're going to struggle with failure. So I want to share with you a few things that you can focus on to get you through some of the self-doubt and failures you might be experiencing now. Now, these steps are in no particular order. Sometimes only one is needed and sometimes all of them, depending on what you're going through. So see what works best for you. Guys, what helps me is after failure, it's important to take a step back and just regroup. Forget your 10-year, your 5-year, or even your 1-year plan just for a moment. After a tough loss, thinking too far ahead is going to create more self-doubt and stress on top of how you're already feeling. Instead, just focus on the next 24 hours ahead of you. Even when I was at my lowest, I knew that I could survive through the next 24 hours. And if I could survive through that, I can do it again. I would tell myself every day that it's okay to quit. Just don't quit today. I would tell myself that every single day until I started getting myself back on track. Building the confidence to start focusing on my long-term goals again. How you speak to yourself is so important. You're the loudest voice in your head, so be cautious what you tell yourself. You might just believe it. Next thing you want to do after a failure is create as much consistency in your life as possible, starting with a strong morning routine that you can stick with that involves feeding your mindset the right things it needs to put you back on track. Having a consistent routine allows you to rely on muscle memory and discipline, even in the days you don't feel like doing anything. It's really easy to have a pity party and give up after a loss or a failure. So getting your routine in order is crucial to avoid that slump. Your mind is a powerful muscle. You need to work it every day like you would any other muscle. I contribute more to my success as an advisor from Frank's mindset training than anything I can learn on the financial planning side of things. Don't neglect that. The next tip may just be the most important and underlooked tool for bouncing back from failure. Be accountable to someone. It's easy to quit on ourselves, guys. It's much harder when someone is keeping you accountable. Amazing leadership like I get with Mauro and Frank on a daily basis is the reason I can't quit anymore. Guys, leaders recognizing when someone on your team is acting off or doesn't seem like themselves is a crucial skill to develop. Being there for them, helping them through their struggles, creates such a strong bond and support system. If you never want your team to leave you, it starts with that. So agents, if you're going through failure, you need to speak up and be accountable to someone. Don't slip further down. There's no shame in doing that. Don't suffer in silence. I know when I'm dealing with something, I go to Mauro immediately, even if it's just for some reassurance or a laugh or a reminder of how much of a stud I am. We all need that sometimes. Next is find something to fight for. This is where a strong why comes in. If we have nothing to fight towards, if we don't have a burning desire to want more out of our life or our ability to get a little obsessed about your future, then every single molehill you face is going to feel like a mountain. A burning desire is the starting point of all accomplishment. Just like a small fire cannot give much heat, a weak desire cannot produce great results. The motivation to succeed comes from the burning desire to achieve a purpose. You're already in pain, guys. Might as well get something from it. You didn't go through all of this just to stop now. Get your reward. Don't let anyone tell you you deserve less than that. Most importantly, take ownership. It's your loss. You can't fix a problem in your life or learn the lesson you're supposed to until you take responsibility. When you blame your circumstances on other people for your loss, you give up your power. Because if the responsibility is placed elsewhere, then so is the solution to the problem. If you want to take control of your life and get through these failures, it starts with that. That's how you grow. That's how you stop repeating the same mistakes. Also, a big part of taking ownership is showing up. Show up to trainings, camera on, no matter what. Show up for your clients, show up for your agents, and most of all, show up for yourself. Stop running from failure, guys. Face it. Don't drag it out longer than you need to. Failure can feel lonely, and isolating yourself is not going to make it any easier. So be accountable to someone to make sure you show up to everything. It will help you fail faster, which is the most important thing you can teach yourself. I'm going to end with this last piece of advice, and that's stop waiting for failure to start working on yourself. Get proactive with it. Make working on yourself a consistent habit. Okay, and stop letting, and this is straight from Jamie's book, the haters tell you what you can and cannot achieve. Stop telling yourself that failure is final. You control that little voice in your head. Some of you are thinking, I don't have a little voice. Yeah, that one. The more positivity you feed your mind, the less negativity it has to feed off of. So start making better choices. Your choices dictate your future more than anything else. Develop the emotional maturity and discipline to get through anything. You have so much value to share. So many people are counting on you. Don't worry about the ones that are betting against you. You're more important than you give yourself credit for. So when you see me today, please know it's a combination of everything I've shared with you. I worked so hard for this. I pushed through everything for this. I was told I couldn't read past the 5th grade level. I had the lowest marks for presenting publicly, and math wasn't my thing. Now my home holds a library of over 800 books. I built a reputation on being a public trainer. My voice has reached the masses. In 2020, I was asked to speak at the same high school I dropped out of. And when it comes to being good with math and numbers, the fact that I'm an executive director for what's soon to be the largest financial services company in North America is proof alone that no one can put a label on you. I hope you can all love yourself enough to do the same. And my team, here's a great recruiting tip they don't talk about. How building a team will push you through more failures than almost anything else. I love my team, and I tell them that every single day. You treat your team well, never beat them up, never talk down to them, always have their back, and I promise you, when you need it the most, they're going to be right there returning the favor. That's the real magic of Experior. Oh, and as far as my last mentor saying they made me, 5 years later, and they still haven't made another me. Thank you, Experior.
Hey, if you like this video or any of the other videos that I have on my channel, stay tuned. We have so many more coming, but I want to make sure that you're in the know, that you know when they're coming. So please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the notification bell.